Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never little wanna be gangster trying to play hard.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never little wanna be gangster trying to play hard. Aye, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Ding dong, they just think they are. Never little wanna be gangster trying to play hard. Aye, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Azalea is capable of tanking so much damage, and this is gonna be the start of this being committed right here as well. And there you go. Cronoa is receiving damage. Ichuya is also down to his half of health. They're trying to go after Ziazalea, but Ziazalea is just standing right there, not giving, just tanking the damage, pretty much dealing damage as well to the opponent. Eureka is dealing so much damage right here. He's running for dear life, but Eureka just teleported out, but got taken out in the process, and that's gonna be no bitter, please, especially to don't kill me, please. Morale shout, fury shout has been committed. GX just got taken out as well. So who's gonna go out next? Cronoa is also down. That makes 3 coming in from the side of no bitter, please. So what are they gonna do? Because there you go, another player notes just went down, and that's a kill count 5 coming in from Novi Replace. Is this gonna be a swift game as well? We don't know yet, but looking at it, that's gonna be the case. Since we're gonna start, we have your Luna. Wow, taking the dealing damage to Decidido, but Decidido Muhabal is taking so much damage, but Raphael in the process of being taken down. Decidido is also gonna kind of ulti plays. Balayong right here is also going down. That's going to be 2 kills coming in from the side of H2K. This Lido will be responding. What is he going to do in order for that's going to be 3 kills under the name of H2K. So what are they going to do? This Lido Muhabal is also down as well. Balayong is also... Lido Muhabal is about to go down, casting that heal. But it will be able to sustain himself. But Raphael and Mav right Bayong is also in the process of being taken out right here, getting so much damage even though the shadow heal is in place. So what's gonna happen here? Balayong will he multiplays gonna do in order for them to at least score 1 kill for this from the side of H2K right here. Decidido Muhabal, that's been so they're gonna be buffing each one. Morale shout coming in from the Warriors. There you go, the buff coming in from the Force Archer. My G Crush is trying to target a Z Lady. Will she be able to survive? But I see dead bodies. Really did see some dead bodies because he's the key surviving. I will survive. She's singing, and of course, SNC right here. The Force Archer is trying his best to survive as well, but he will be taken out. I think there's a battle mode being committed right here. The Blader who just went on and go ahead and executed battle mode 2. There you go, the Snitch just got taken out. Same goes with the Cabal. What's gonna happen here? I think the Shadow Shield didn't do so much. Daddy Long Hair is also gone in the process. They are being decimated right here by VN Legends. Black Stallion right here, or the Blader is also getting out in the process. Axe Mark is also down, and I think it's gonna be the game number 1 for this. Right here, the Snitch. The Snitch is still trying to survive. It's the remaining player of Rules Breaker right here. The Snitch is just trying his very best, but okay, there you go. As you can see here, we're gonna have some match right here, some fight right here. And of course, I think the Shadow Shield has just been committed, everyone. I think they're gonna, this time around, it's not gonna be a walk in the park for the side of VN Legends, but Sabao is low on health, and there you go, he's just hit the dust. Same goes for the Blader and the Snitch. Axe Mark is gonna go next. Daddy Longhair will also go next. Who's gonna be left standing? I think it's gonna be the Snitch. Snitch right here, I think using the Art of Defense. Okay, yes, Art of Defense. You will not take any damage at all, but you will be immobilized here. You're gonna be a standing. Hey, you guys, what's up once again? This is Andrew together with Infinity, and welcome back to the Infinite War Collective. The Infinite Battle. Today, Actually the first day of our live stream, and you just witnessed 3 days of non-stop Cabal action happening in the Signal server. And now we're gonna go ahead and transfer to the Pegasus server. So I'm very excited to witness what's gonna happen here in this server. So I can see new teams, and I asked my partner Infinity a while ago if he's familiar with some of the names right here, and it turns out that he is. So, I am really hyped and excited as well on what's going to happen here in the Pegasus server, because we have four teams who will, not really four, but eight teams who will, battle it out here in the Lakeside Arena, so that we can actually find out who's going to go up in the ladder in terms of this tournament.
Yeah, especially considering that we have seen or we have been focusing on the Cygnus server for quite some time, and now we're jumping in, looking at the other side, looking at the flip side of the servers here in Cabal Infinite Combo. We're gonna look at the teams, the players, how experienced they are, how good they are, and how strong their characters are going to be jumping into this tournament today in Pegasus server. I'm really excited, and as you've mentioned, there are quite a bit of familiar names, but overall, a lot of them are quite new to me.
Yes, definitely. So I mean, maybe some of them are familiar with my partner Infinity, but since we have some new names coming out of the mix, so I am really excited on what they have. To offer on the table, especially in terms of strategies, because we just witnessed lots of crazy stuff happening in the Signal server. So I don't know what's gonna happen here in the Pegasus server. So guys, once again, I would like to invite all of you to come and like this stream, and of course share it publicly to your profile. Invite your friends, invite your family members, invite your guildmates, in order for them to witness what's gonna happen in this side of the server. And of course, if we reach a certain milestone, we're gonna be giving you guys codes as we reach those milestones.
Yeah, and we have been giving quite a bit already over the past few days. In the very first day, we hit, I believe, like 2 or 3 milestones in that stream alone, and then you also have those succeeding days as well that we have been giving away tons and tons of codes. And this time around, if you guys will be able to reach that milestone, for the Cabalistas watching at home, respective codes will be given with respective rewards. So a lot of exciting stuff. But on top of that, we also have our sponsors that made this tournament possible. Thank you very much to Fantech and to VIU, which these two brands, these two companies will also be giving away some stuff to the viewers watching at home at the end of the tournament.
Yes, again, if you guys are looking for some gaming paraphernals or gaming peripherals that you can use, you can actually visit the Fantech, because look no more. If you're looking for quality, affordability, Fantech has all of them. If you're looking for gaming headsets, a mouse, what else? Gaming chairs, anything that you might need in order for you to have your own personal gaming setup, look no further. Fantech has it for you.
Yeah, and on top of that, looking at flip side, going into VIU, if you're really looking into going into streaming services, looking for those entertainment contents, those dramas, those movies, those variety shows, VIU has it all. So check them out, look into that platform if you really want to go into watching those entertainment content after work, after school, or wherever it may be.
There was the last time that I used the VIU. I was watching this particular anime. Apparently, it's not out yet in another streaming platform that I used to I always use. But when I discovered the VIU, I searched this particular anime. It's Windbreaker. I was able to watch it there, so it's already in complete season, and I was really, really, really thankful to VIU, because I am looking for a very good platform or a streaming platform wherein I can watch Windbreaker. So, yeah, Windbreaker is one of the best anime that I've watched so far after Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, I can hear the emotion, the sales talk coming through you as well. The Windbreak, there windbreaker there. Definitely something to to watch out for. But of course, thank you very much once again to Fantech and the View. But on the win, as we have been talking about a while ago at the start of the stream, we're gonna have the Pegasus server this time around. But for the viewers watching at home, just a quick overview of what we are going to see today is that we are already in the quarter finals out of I believe 18 teams who was able to come through here in the Pegasus server. Only 8 will remain. So that is going to be Alpha, Console Gamers. It will be Retaliation, Bakery Boys, and then you also have Lagman, Consummation only, Ashra, and Vsol to be the last but not least match for the day.
Mm-hmm. So again, we've seen lots of crazy combos in terms of the classes here in Cabal. So we've witnessed a team without a Force Shielder to prop that Shadow Shield to provide that extra defense or extra layer of defense to the party. We have a composition that only has a Dark Mage, a Force Blader, a Blader, and then a Force Archer, and yet they were able to sweep their enemies, through that particular matchup. And I can't wait if we will be able to witness same thing in the Pegasus server. And as you can see in the bracket right here, this is what's gonna happen tonight. So again, we have 8 teams duking it out in the Lakeside server. So we have again Alpha, Console Gamers, Retaliation, Bakery Boys, Lagman, Consummation Only, Ashra, and Vsol. Okay, so I am really excited who's gonna come up on top, who's gonna win who. And pretty much, if you are supporting any of the teams right here, make sure that you make yourself known in the comment section, because they are also reading every single comment that you are dropping in this live stream.
Yeah, for sure, and it definitely will be looked into. Like, if you want to support a specific team, just go for it, because this will be series number 1 on our hands here today on the win. It's Console Gamers versus Alpha, and just looking at their composition, these people and these teams are going to be stacked.
Definitely. As you can see on Console Gamers, they have the Force Shielder. Like what I said, that a Shadow Shield will add an extra layer of defense to the party as soon as it's going to be committed by the user of that particular class. And of course, the massive healing capability coming in from the Force Archer. And the damage pretty much will be provided by the Blader. And I think they are going after a very long fight right here, because they want to be beefy as much as possible. You have the Shadow Shield, you have the Mortal Shout coming in from the Warrior, and of course the debuff from the Force Blader. However, on the side of Alpha, we have the Wizard, the Force Gunner, Force Archer, Force Blader, and the Warrior. They don't have that Force Shielder to add that extra layer of defense. Again, that's the Shadow Shield. But again, it's too soon to say who's gonna win who, because again, if you guys are all aware, if you guys should know, by the way, they are using their own personal account. They're not using any developer's account. They are using their own personal account. So once again, it's all gonna go down to how high your CPS, your combat power is, and how good you are in terms of strategy, how in sync you are with your teammates, and pretty much how good you are in terms of prioritizing who's gonna be your target.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely plays a huge part into diving into the first couple of seconds, which will be quite crucial as well if we're going to think about how Alpha will be playing this matchup without any Force Shield. They're just banking onto the availability of the Force Archer. This will be a tall task coming down to Alpha on what they could do. Really, it is having a huge focus onto the likes of the Wizard for those mass heals, rather the heals, the Master Store. You have the Force Archer for those heals. These are going to be quite crucial for them for that sustain. But jumping into game number 1 here, looking at Console Gamers, they have the Force Shielder, they have Engineer Xane, they have Kitagawa, you have Play Maya, and you have Jella as their 5th member.
And of course, for the side of Alpha, everyone, may I introduce to you, for the Force Gunner, we have Cams, Serafino. For the Force Blader, for the Wizard, we have Zardinas. What is it with the Z? Okay, Zardinas, okay. And of course, we have FB Chichi, and of course, X666, okay, for the Warrior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A unique name. if you
Mm-hmm.
may.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. It is. I am really, really, gonna come asking about the letter Z. What's with that Z? Look at cams. There's a Z as well. What's with the Z, man?
It's a letter of strength. If
Letter
you're
of strength.
strong, you have the authority to put Z in your name.
Like,
So it's now going to
okay.
be Zanduin.
Zandwin,
Yeah,
Zinfinity.
Zinfinity. Yeah, for sure.
Zinfinity, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I think we're just waiting for them to at least they're just waiting for the signal to start up the match right here. But I think everyone is pretty much hyped up. Play Maya is already roaming around the lakeside arena right here, and again, so maybe since my partner Zinfinity said that
Yo,
Z is the letter of strength, so maybe since they are really powerful, they're strong enough to just like doze off or maybe just sleep in terms of fighting some of the opponents right here. And the Signal server, we have Ziazalea, we have Ziladian, and their name starts with a Z, and pretty much they're both the Force Archers. Okay, so
but
I think we're gonna start right now. There you go. That's the buff. That's the buff coming in. Play Maya. Not trying to dive too deep in the territory of Alpha right here. But Camps right here is now gonna pro her battle mode 3 right here. Camps is already receiving so much damage, and I think he's gonna go out. And Serafina is also gonna go down. Where's the heal coming in from our Force Archer? That's gonna be 3 kills coming in. In courtesy of console gamers. Console gamers right here is decimating pretty much the alphas. What happened? Where is the dominance coming from the alphas? That's gonna be a very swift match. Serafino will not survive the assault, and that's gonna be our first match right there.
yeah, console gamers, they have the Force Shielder, they have a lot of utility coming in from their lineup, and this is the strength of having a Force Shielder because it's really just pros and cons, right? Coming down into the first few seconds, these are crucial times, these are crucial periods for any of these teams that will be battling it out here in this tournament. And the thing is, like, having the Force Shielder with that Shadow Shield, your first few seconds of that matchup will be quite safe. You have the Shadow Shield to negate a lot of damage, you have shields, and on top of that, they have the Force Archer as well for that prolonged fight. And now the thing is, it's another layer of difficulty for Alpha to be able to shut down the shields first, and then they have to think about who will be the target next. And the thing is, like, even if they're able to bring down the Shadow Shield, you also have the heals that you have to think about coming in from their opponents, and also their innate self skills that can avoid these attacks. That has, let's say, for example, on the Blader, they have intuition for the 100% evasion onto any attacks incoming for a couple of seconds. So these are some of the things and perspectives that these players have to think about. These teams have to brainstorm coming down into these games.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, for sure. And of course, the highlights is already done, and we are ready to see what really happened. Because here we go, guys. Let's take a look at the highlights. So I think Play Maya tried to dive in way too deep, but I think he is more than capable of taking good care of himself because he's the Force shielder right here. There you go, trying to target Cams, but successfully. He was able to bring down Camps in the process. And as you can see, look at the HP of console gamers right here, everyone. It's not taking so much damage. But on the side of Alpha, their teammates is like falling down like flies. They have been decimated. They have been assaulted in a way, in a very swift way possible. So I am really, really pumped. I mean, I thought we're not gonna witness this kind of games happening in the Pegasus server, but I think I stand corrected. That was really, really fast.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was fast. Coming, especially considering that this will be the very first game that we are having coming down into the Pegasus server. This is already the quarterfinals, so it's pretty much all hands on deck here for each and every single one of these teams. But currently, Alpha still has that chance. They still have one more game to be able to take away and push this to a game 3 best of 3 series. But with that performance coming from console gamers, it will definitely put them on edge. Console gamers currently at a huge advantage already, and in terms of their battle power and combat power for uh their characters, it is also quite a big of a difference wherein console gamers has that advantage.
Yep, I mean, I think the difference is as clear as day and night. Just like what you mentioned a while ago, they are very beefy. They really wanted to win this one because their lineup is just made to survive an assault, pretty much to stack up defense and pretty much increase the HP of everyone, thanks to the morale shout from the warrior, and of course shadow shield again for another layer of defense, and the massive heal coming in from the force archer. So I think if you're gonna ask me, console gamers is really taking this tournament seriously because they really thought of this amazing lineup in this matchup right here. So the question is, will there be a miracle for Alpha? Will they be able to force a game number 3 out of console gamers?
I mean, it's always possible, right? We're not disregarding that opportunity for the likes of Alpha to be able to turn things around, but I'm already stating that it's going to be kind of like a Mission Impossible, right? Mission Impossible, we all know. If you guys don't know it, the main character is able to do the impossible. So we'll see if ever like Alpha can do the same thing, but it will be such a huge margin of error for console gamers to execute such massive of a mistake coming down into this matchup, for them to be able to really garner that sure ball advantage, a sure ball probability into taking this down for game 2. So yeah, I think Alpha can still definitely make it into game 3, but it will take them quite a bit of coordination and chemistry to be able to execute that.
So if you're gonna ask me again, they have to take down first, take care of Kitagawa, the Force Archer,
Possibly, yeah.
from console gamers, because that's the main reason why they're having a hard time. Aside from the fact that a Force shielder can deal so much damage, but again, just like what you said yesterday, after the Shadow Shield is is used, or it's all gone, okay, the shielder will become a walking tank. So pretty much if he doesn't have any combat power or pretty much damage in his arsenal, he will just be there taking so much beating as well from the opposing team. But Kitagawa right here is the one making the difference because of that massive heal, pretty much sustaining everyone in the party. The likes of the likes of Blader, the likes of Force Blader, and of course pretty much the FA as well, or sorry, the Force Shielder as well. So it's really a tall order for Alpha right here to just easily take down Kitagawa. Not to mention that we have here a Force Blader that could pretty much use a mana freeze to any of the characters in Alpha. And there's the Field of Enervation that pretty much lower their defense, or sorry, lower the level of each players right here. But again, we have the debuff to consider as well. So it's really game of tic-tac-toe. Whoever commits a mistake, that's gonna be the person losing this match right here.
Yeah. And I echo the sentiment, right? Because the thing is, like, for console gamers, honestly, they have quite a bit of targets on their heads. They could do Kitagawa if they want to remove that heals and remove that sustain. They could go for the likes of Jella as well if they want to get that numbers advantage early on. And play Maya, it's pretty much also up there in terms of targeting. But Engineer Exine, this will be a bit of a problem because this is what we mentioned a while ago, that these classes have their innate skill of kind of like invulnerability,
Mhm.
or kind of like a way to survive. And Blader has one of the most annoying self buff skill that has 100% evade for quite a couple of seconds, which will be a headache for the likes of Alpha. So the thing is like Force Archer, Wizard, Force Blader, these are some of the options for Alpha to target. And as for console gamers, they do not really have to think about who the target would be because every single one coming in from Alpha are squishy targets, except for the Warrior, that a bit debatable, right? You still have the massive heals, you have the bloody spirit to deal damage as well, a bit of balance of both worlds, but it's going to be sort of like a glass cannon analogy for Alpha's composition.
That's true. That's very true. So again, it's all gonna go down. Who's gonna win this particular matchup right here between console gamers and the Alpha? So then again, I would like to invite our audiences to please do like and share the stream so we can at least reach our first milestone. But there you go, Play Maya, trying to close the gap between the players right here. And of course, that's the battle mode 3. Jella as well with the relentless assault. There you go, everyone. They are trying to pinpoint a certain target. Camps goes down. Serafino and X660 is also a down. That's gonna be 4 kill count right on the get-go for console gamers. So what's gonna happen here? Sardinas will be the last man standing. FB Chichi will try to run for dear life. Will she be successful in doing so? But I don't think so. So that's gonna be the win. So again, in this match right here, everyone, it's gonna be the console gamers who will take on our first victory.
Yeah, fantastic showing coming into console gamers. It was quick, it was fast, it was swift. What it did there in this series, and Alpha wasn't able to do much. Coming down into game number 2. And I think console gamers definitely showing some promise here in this tournament to proceed into the semifinals.
That's very true. So as much as we want to really try and give credits to, I mean, we can give credits to Team Alpha, no doubt. They tried their very best, but the power difference is just too huge. It's just too big. The gap is really showing in terms of combat powers. So I guess that's a very good run still for Team Alpha. Unfortunately, they got what do you call this, matched up with console gamers that has a very complete set of good characters to pretty much win this particular tournament right here. So we're gonna go with the highlights so we can see what happened in game number 2.
Yeah, and in average, like I'm doing like quick maths here, the average difference of the combat power coming from these two teams are quite a bit. It's 140k, so I think that shows a bit of sustenance coming in from console gamers on how they're really just strong in terms of just being those big hitters in this series. And overall, console gamers coming down into game number 2, they were just very quick and they were just easy into jumping into the front lines, jumping into the back lines, and gaining access to these squishy targets that we've talked about prior.
That's true. That's true. And of course, that's going to be the end of our first game for tonight. We still have 3 more games. Again, don't go anywhere because the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle, will be back after a very short break.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hello everyone, once again, good evening to each and every one of you guys here on the Pegasus server. My name is Andrew again, together with Zinfinity. And welcome back to the Zinfinite War of the Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. Again, Z is the letter of strength. So again, I would like to say thank you so much everyone for always tuning in, for supporting the stream, and of course for supporting all of our participants, who will be partaking in the tournament tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And I think so far, coming down into the first series, it was kind of exhilarating, although albeit short, because it was very fast that console gamers just went in and finished that series quite quickly as well. But this time around, we have a new set of teams as well that will be batting it out here in Infinite War of Celestial Sea. It will be Bakery Boys up against Retaliations, to be more specific. So I'm quite interested who are going to be the class compositions here and what will be kind of like the difference in terms of combat power, because a while ago we just saw it and it was an average 140,000 combat power, which is significant if we're going to talk about this type of setup.
Yeah, it's quite high. I mean, 100k is no joke. I mean, that kind of combat power difference can actually give you the edge moving forward. But of course, we're gonna be looking at this one. Okay, so it's gonna be the Bakery Boys versus Retaliation. So there is a saying: if someone throws a stone at you, you can throw a bread back at him.
Oh,
so,
I thought you were gonna say like a stone lemonade or something.
Stone lemonade. But in this case, if someone shoots you with some bullets, okay, you can throw some bread onto those people who's shooting you bullets. But then again, the team composition right here, everyone, is gonna be pretty much the same with what we witnessed a while ago. So it's a complete package for the Bakery Boys. We have the Force Archer for the massive healing, damage from the from the Blader. Force Blader for the debuff, Force Shielder for the additional, additional layer of defense because of the Shadow Shield, and of course, the Warrior will provide additional HP to the party. What about Retaliation? What can you say about the team comp?
Yeah, for Retaliation, in terms of their composition, this is quite new, because from what we have seen over the past few days of this tournament, Gladiator hasn't really been that favored by any of these teams. But this time around, Gladiator is going to come through. Blader is going to come in as well. So at the very least, they have these strong powerhouses in single target DPS category. So I think that is what Retaliation will look out for in this matchup up against Baker Boys. But speaking of which, to the side of Baker Boys, we have Winterfield. Tuloy ang saya. You have Ice, you have Icon, and then you have TLMX. TLM.
I think that's Tim. With the X. Yep. There you go. Like what you said, if your username is taken, you add X or Z on the beginning or somewhat in the mix of your name. So I think that's what happened with Tim. Okay, but on the side of Retaliation, we have Retaliation Charles, Boss Cheese 45 or 45, 6 packs. 6 packs. How many 6 packs do you have? I don't know. Zamari. And the Vash X Stampede. There you go. But I think this is not the first time that we've seen the gladiator class entering the tournament. But of course, it all boils down on what's gonna happen. And
Mhm.
as far as I can see, like what you said a while ago, there is no massive healing capability on the side of retaliation because they don't have the force archer. But on the side of Bakery Boys, they have those pretty much everything that they need in order for them to win this matchup right here. The massive heal coming in from Force Archer, the Shadow Shield, the Fury Shout, and everything. And of course, the Field of Fear can pretty much deal so much defense negation for the side of retaliation. Though retaliation can do the same thing for the Bakery boys right here. So I'm really curious how is this matchup going to pan out.
Yeah, it can be looked at different angles. Coming down into Baker Boys, you mentioned it already. Their composition is a bit balanced. You have the Force Archer, you have the Force Shielder, you have Damage Dealers, which is Ice, and then you have that crowd control coming in with the Force Blader. And the Warrior is just there for a bit more balance, type of perspective, sort of like a filler as well that can pretty much do damage, tank a bit, and also do a bit of crowd control with a panic cry. So these are some of the perspectives that Bakery Boy has in terms of their composition. But looking at retaliation, they do not have Force Archer, which is a bit unfortunate. However, they have the Warrior, they have the Gladiator, they have Force Shielders, and pretty much these classes are a bit tankier in comparison to the likes of those with martial suits or battle suits in the game. So overall, I think that is what retaliation is going for. That, you know what? Let's just focus on dealing damage, single targeted DPS. You have six packs, and then you have Aki Babeo as the gladiator as well. These two are going to be the crucial players from retaliation, and even then, gladiator. In addition to that, also have self heals. So that is just a bit of something that can sustain them for quite a bit longer.
That's true. That's true. And of course, like what I said, it all boils down to the execution and pretty much how well synced you are with your teammates, and also it depends on how are you going to prioritize your target. So if you're gonna be talking about targets, I think on the side of Baker Boys, they can pretty much target the Blader because that Blader is not that beefy and of course, Dark Mage is also a viable choice in terms of targeting a an enemy here. But on the side of a retaliation, they can pretty much target Winterfield, the Force Archer, so that the massive healing won't be able to sustain the party members of Bakery Boys. After that, they can go after either the Force Blader or the Blader itself. So it's really it really depends. Sorry, it really depends on who are they going to prioritize in terms of target.
Yeah, yeah. Prioritization definitely is one of the keys here for any of these two teams to excel in this matchup. But of course, as we have mentioned priorly, these teams, these players, every single one of them will be using their own characters, will be using their own equipment. So those combat powers will be pretty much like 50 to 70% of the winning condition for each and every single one of them. And the remaining 50 to 30% would be the likes of coordination, would be the likes of their composition, because composition still definitely does matter in this type of situation, similar to what we saw in Series 1 for the day.
Yes, that's right. And of course, there you go. I think they're just trying to wait for the signal. They are what they're just trying to formulate strategies as well, because no matter how powerful you guys are, if you're gonna be the focus of everyone's attention, there's no way that you can survive a direct 5-man assault. But of course, that's why you have your teammate to at least assist you in the process, or at least try to less or reduce the number of players assaulting you. So it's really gonna be a tall order for retaliation. If you're gonna ask me if they want to take down Winterfield, they have to do it really fast, or else the likes of Tuloy ang Saya or Ice is gonna end up decimating them while they're doing so. But there you go. The match has already started, and as you can see right here, everyone they're trying to measure everyone up. Okay, Zamarilla trying to enter the enemy's territory right here. There's no hit coming in at the moment, but there you go. They decided, just like what we've mentioned a while ago, everyone, they decided to go after Winterfield, and there you go. That's the Shadow Shield being activated on the side of Bakery Boys. So as you can see right here, they're trying their best to sustain. Boss Cheese is also losing health, but Retaliation Charles is going to be the first one to go out on the side of Retaliation. Who's going to go down next? We're not yet sure. But there you go, Retaliation Charles has already respawned and will pretty much, go down as well. Boss Cheese will try his very best to survive, but won't be able to do so. But 6 packs, however, went down, and that's going to be the second kill coming in from the side of Bakery Boys. Wow, they are in heat, everyone. They are on fire. Who's going to go down next? We're not yet sure. But Boss Cheese right here is on the verge of getting knocked out. Same goes with Charles. So by going down twice, that's going to be the third kill, courtesy of Bakery Boys. And of course, we're just waiting for the other team members. And we have here the Gladiator also going down. It's going to be the Warrior and, of course, the Shielder who's left here in the arena. What's going to happen? We don't know yet.
Well,
I think that's going to be Boss Cheese going down. There you go. One more kill for the side of Bakery Boys in order for them to win this one. But I guess that's going to be the end of this round right here, because our Gladiator will not be able to survive. And that's going to be game number 1, or series 1, in favor of the Bakery Boys.
Yeah, and for Bakery Boys, what they did there, the main point that I want to talk about coming down into this game specifically is that Bakery Boys has the Force Archer. And looking at the timer, they still have 40 minutes and 40 seconds left. And in this type of situation wherein the opposition doesn't have those heals, doesn't have those sustain, the composition, the team that has the Force Archer, or maybe any class that can sustain, would be at a much bigger advantage, right? Because the thing is, like, if their opponent wasn't able to bring down the Force Archer at the early stage of the game and was not able to eliminate the class twice, because you can definitely go with the revive, 2 revives per team in each game, they definitely were at a massive innate disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as swift as our first game. Compared to our first game, it's not as swift as we thought it would be. But definitely, the side of it's really, really hard for them to force a win without that massive healing capability, because they don't really have a Force Archer. But on the side of this particular team right here, it's really, really easy for them to survive, because they have pretty much everything in their arsenal. They have the Shadow Shield, the Morale Shout, Field of Fear, Mana Freeze. But of course, if we want to know more about what happened, here's the highlight for you.
Yeah. So I think that we already were able to discuss the main point here for Bakery Boys, that the thing is that they have the Force Archer, and yes, the Shadow Shield was gone, but you have to think about Retaliation was losing a lot of their players, was losing a lot of their classes left and right here, wherein Winterfield is still untouched coming in from Retaliation. And we saw the attempt, Winterfield down to half HP already, but Bakery Boys, you just have to dash and fade, cancel those combos, and forcing Retaliation to retarget. And I think that is like one of the big headaches here for Bakery Boys, that they were able to capitalize on that aspects of the game itself that made it so hard for Retaliation to fight back.
Yes. I mean, Retaliation, like what we've mentioned a while ago, they tried their very best to take down Winterfield. So, like what we said in the earlier stage of the game, they're not just gonna allow their team members to get pretty much ganked up by everyone. So as you try and take down their Force Archer, they will retaliate. Definitely, they will try to slowly take down every single members of retaliation one by one, because that's what they do, that's what they are good at. But then again, um, you know the survivability of this team right here is quite high still. They're more than capable of forcing a game number three. So definitely, they can strategize, they can formulate new ways in order for them to at least approach and maybe attack this particular matchup right here, wherein they lack pretty much the healing
Mhm.
capability. So, what is the adjustment that they need to do? Who's going to be their first target? Is it going to be the Force Archer or the Force Shielder, or pretty much the Warrior? We don't know yet. So we're gonna
Mhm.
witness that one after we start our second series.
I mean, the ideology was there. Like the Force Archer was the target coming down for the side of retaliation, and this is very clever for them. Winterfield is definitely one of those key targets. If you can bring it down, there's no more sustain left, and then the playing field will be equal with these two teams. However, it's just so difficult for them, as we have priorly discussed. The reasoning on why Winterfield is such a difficult target to bring down that quickly. And I think overall, if we want to talk about a general type of analysis of these compositions, is that for these type of setups, if you want to go all in burst damage, it definitely is plausible. It's a concept that is possible coming down into these tournaments, but it costs a lot. And what I mean by it costs a lot, that it takes so much combat power for you to be able to achieve the likes of these type of composition and execute it very well. And I think one of the teams that were able to do that, I believe, would be I guess No Bitter Please,
No
but of
better
course they
place.
have the Force Shielder as well in Cygnus server in this competition. So it's not really a direct comparison, but at that level, at that highest level of combat power, you can definitely execute something similar. And I think, oh yeah, wait, I remember now.
VN
I
Legends.
believe Wakabu doesn't have a Force Shielder. Yeah. So if you're the likes of Wakabu as well, it definitely is a possible situation for you. You just need the combat power for it. You need the coordination of each of your players.
That's true. That's true. So again, it's a tall order coming in for the side of retaliation. So the question is, how are they going to retaliate? How are they going to pretty much, force a game number three? What is going to be their strategy? Because again, the Force Archer is not gonna just sit idly and wait for you to pretty much approach him or her. So it's going to be a difficult task for a retaliation right here. So,
Mm-hmm.
still, I would like to acknowledge the fact that they're trying their very best. They were able to survive at least for more than a minute or two. So that's the beauty of this tournament. Anything can still happen. So once again, everyone, if you're watching this, I would like to invite all of you to please like and share the stream, and of course, make sure that you are inviting everyone in your family, because we have some codes waiting for you if we reach a certain milestone. If we reach our first 150 viewers, then we are going to give away some in-game codes.
Yeah, and those are exciting because I believe we're reaching those milestones very quickly as well. It's jumping up and down, but nevertheless, we're going to reach those soon. We're gonna give away some codes down the road, and the team, the brand that made this tournament possible would be Fantech and VIU once more. Thank you very much to Fantech and VIU. If you guys want gaming peripherals, Fantech will be the best choice for you.
Again, if you like watching Korean dramas, animes, movies, different series from across Southeast Asia, View is the best streaming platform that you can actually download in your mobile phone. So again,
Mhm.
these awesome partners will be giving away, lots of freebies to us at the end of this tournament. But then again, we are now jumping in to our second series of the match between the Bakery Boys and Retaliation. So again, we're just gonna see and witness how are they going to play this one out. Retaliation, will they be able to bring down Winterfield? We're not sure yet. But again, if Six Pack is gonna use the battle mode too, the grappler mode, maybe he can just pretty much close the distance as quickly as possible. That's one thing that I would love to consider doing, because we have here the jump coming in with you use the battle mode too of the blader, the grappler mode. he can easily close the distance with the force kick and pretty much the ability of the battle mode too. Now, in terms of damage, I don't see any totem being placed on the side of retaliation, or maybe it's just the effects. I just don't see it. But Dark Mage is also capable of pretty much putting down a totem or summoning a totem that can deal damage as well. And in terms of paralyzing the enemy, a Dark Mage can also petrify the enemies, but I didn't see that in play a while ago. Maybe because we have here the debuff, and of course, lots of healing capabilities coming in from the Force Archer of Bakery Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of sustains, huge headache for retaliation to fight back at this stage. They have to capitalize on those damage here. 4 6 packs and the Gladiator.
And of course, there you go. There's the buff coming in for the side of Bakery Boys. And of course, Retaliation is doing the same thing. The Battle Mode 3 has been procced right here by Zamari. There you go. They're just checking out pretty much everyone. They're trying to pinpoint who's going to be their target. Tuloy Saya will be receiving damage in the get-go. But Charles right here going down as soon as possible or as quickly as possible. And of course, 6 packs will join him in getting knocked out. That's going to be 2 kill count once again coming in from the Bakery Boys. And of course, Charles will respawn. And of course, will be targeted again by everyone in the Bakery Boys. And of course, 6 packs will go down in flames as well. That's going to be 4 kill counts coming in for the side of Bakery Boys. So what's going to happen next? Who's going to kill who? Okay, we have here the Gladiator. We have here the Force Shielder getting knocked out as well. Boss Cheese is now down and out. I think we are down to Zamari, the Warrior. The Warrior, the heart of the Warrior. Never backing down, trying to sustain himself. He's in battle mode 3, everyone. Winterfield right here is in gunner mode of, ooh, that's gonna be the kill. The Gladiator, Makibabeo. They're just toying around with Zamari right here, everyone. That's the kill. There you go. Infernal Stigma, and that's gonna be the game. And the winner of this match right here is none other than the Bakery Boys.
Yeah, a good game coming in from Bakery Boys. They were able to execute their competition quite well as well. The consideration up against the like of Retaliation. However, I think one of the perspectives that we could discuss coming down into Retaliation in game number 2 is that the Shadow Shield was a tad bit too late. It was Bakery Boys who was able to go through a very fast in terms of that fight, going in with that force case or dashing and fading into that team fight, that they were already able to pick up two kills and 2 eliminations before the Shadow Shield was able to be casted. So I think that's one of the perspectives that's really difficult for Retaliation, and that caused them to be having a hard time.
Mm-hmm. I thought they're just, maybe there's something wrong with the connection of their Force Shielder. I also thought that that particular Shadow Shield was activated way too late for the side of Retaliation. Maybe it's the connection as well of the mobile device. I'm not sure. But it could have been activated sooner in order for them to at least stand a chance to get that additional layer of defense for the side of Retaliation. But then again, kudos to you guys. Thank you so much for participating, and of course, congratulations to our Bakery Boys. I'm curious. Why do you think they call themselves Bakery Boys? I'm not sure.
Because they cook in game.
They cook in game,
Yeah.
but then again, everyone.
No, they
if you
cook
miss...
in tournament.
Oh yeah, maybe. Definitely. But then again, everyone, if you missed what happened in our second game, here's the highlight for you.
So yeah, so coming down at the start, if you're gonna look at Mary just sneaking towards the top of our cameras, right? There's no Shadow Shield at the start of the matchup. 6 minutes, 40 seconds already. Shadow Shield was casted by Bakery Boys when the game started, and I think that's like one of the most crucial buffs that you can have, maybe at the beginning of the game or maybe a little bit delayed. It's really up to the strategy of this respective teams. But considering the amount of difference in combat power, you want to use a Shadow Shield immediately. Unfortunately, we did not see that come through from the side of Retaliation. And the thing is, they do not have the Force Archer as well, which also added a little bit of an extra reasoning on why they have to put out the Shadow Shield immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely saw the Shadow Shield being activated a while ago from the side of Big Itty Boys. I was waiting. I was really waiting for the side of, Retaliation. I was waiting for the Shadow Shield, but it didn't actually appear. I think, like what you said, it appeared maybe like 2 minutes a bit late, 2 minutes late in this game right here. But again, it's all about how are you going to, proc your skills. It doesn't have to be on the get-go. You don't have to cast everything out. You have to play it really well. You have to stack your hand first, and pretty much if the, if you actually saw your opponent's hand, then that's the time we're in. You're going to be using your ace in a hole, and that is, in our case, or in this case right here, that is the Shadow Shield. But again, congratulations everyone, because we just reached our 150 viewers, and because of that, we're gonna give you our first code of the evening right here.
Yeah, it's for the viewers currently watching at home. It's Z1L4D9Y6. So input that into your respective games, into your respective accounts to be able to get respective rewards here exclusively in this tournament. So yeah, you just watch, you just play it, and you get rewards.
That's what I like about watching this live stream. All you need to do is watch. Make sure that you invite your family members in order for us to reach our milestone. It's all about give and take, everyone. And of course, we would love to reward you handsomely within the game by giving out codes like this moving forward. And of course, since we reached our first milestone, we're gonna wait for our second milestone, which is the 200 viewers. So again, make sure that you share this actively to your to your friends, to your family members, and you share this publicly to your profile in order for us to get more viewers.
Now, with that said and done, that is game 2. That concluded. It's already the quarterfinals. We have 2 more games down the road. We're just going to take a short break. When we come back, it's Series 3 of the day.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hey, yo, everyone. Good evening once again. What's up? What's up? A Pegasus server. It's me again, Andrew, and together with Infinity. And welcome back to the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle, because we still have 2 more games left. And we are excited to tell you what's going to happen in those games right here.
Yeah, for sure. We have 2 more games left. It would be Kun's Mission only versus Lagman for a 3rd series, and right after that, it will be versus all up against Ashura. So we have 4 more teams left here in the quarterfinals because 2 have already proceeded into the semifinals, and I'm really curious on what the type of compositions are going to be, what type of pacing these teams are going to go for, especially considering our first game was very swift. Our second game took a bit of a turn on that long duration matchups, but nevertheless, these 2 are going to be hype.
Exactly, exactly. And I can't wait to see them in action because, whatever it is that they're going to think of course, pretty much everyone will find a way to counter everything. And, it's all about, once again, the execution, the difference in combat power. But then again, miracles do happen if you can pretty much look for an opening and you can, pretty much take it to your advantage. Then definitely, definitely, you can secure a victory in this tournament. But then again, I would like to thank all of you guys watching at home for making this tournament possible, our back end team, and of course, to our beloved sponsors, we have Fantech and of course VIU. Again, if you
Yeah.
guys are looking for some gaming peripherals like gaming chairs, keyboards, mice, what else, headsets. Okay, look no further because Fantech has them all. So what are you waiting for? Make sure that you visit Fantech's website, and of course, you try to visit their physical store as well.
And as for streaming services, if you're looking for those entertainment contents, those K dramas, those movies, variety shows, or anime, View has them all. And on top of that, View will also be giving away 5 premium subscriptions for 1 year at the end of the tournament. So stay tuned at the end of each day, or well, at the very least, at the end, wherein it is going to be C Infinite Finals already. We're gonna give away some Fantech gears and View subscriptions.
Wow. I hope we can also receive the same thing. Anyway, so a while ago, we just witnessed a very gruesome, encounter, okay, with Team Retaliation and Bakery Boys. So they really tried their very best. Retaliation, even though they lost the first game, they tried their very best to retaliate on the second series. But unfortunately, they were still unable to bring down the Force Archer of the Bakery Boys. However, we were surprised. Me and Infinity were actually surprised because I think the team of Retaliation activated the Shadow Shield a bit too late, which cost them that single opening to at least put up a fight against Bakery Boys.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate, right? Considering also that their opponents during that time, Bakery Boys, have casted their Shadow Shield at the beginning of that matchup. So the disparity would be huge. On the top of that, the combat power difference as well, taking into consideration, like Bakery Boys was at the lead of that series overall. But this time around, coming down into the series, it's Consummation versus Lagman, and I am not that sure in terms of how much combat powers this individual players have, but I'm looking at one of these teams, and those combat powers are stacking coming in for the side of Lagman.
Mm. I mean, consumption only, please. Lagman. They're both, sound like a headache to me. I don't. I hate it when my PC lags, and when you say consumption, it's more like a problem in English. So, uh, I don't know why you guys picked this name, but still, again, we're gonna witness how they execute, how well synced they are in terms of strategies, executing skills, targeting the priority in terms of who to kill first or who to take down first, in terms of each team's composition. Probably if you guys will see a Force Archer or maybe a very nimble character, that's going to be your first and initial target, such as a Force Archer, Wizard, Blader, Force Blader. Those are the what do you call this, the possible targets in this tournament right here. But if you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna go right ahead and go after a Force Archer. But let's look at the matchup right here. So it's Consummation versus Lagman. So on the side of Consummation right here, we have Warrior, Blader, Force Blader, Dark Mage, and Force Archer. I don't see that Force Shielder that will pretty much add on another layer of defense for their team right here. But definitely, there is this Warrior that can pretty much add an HP to each add, or maybe like increase the HP of each single party members in this matchup right here. But then again, compared to Shadow Shield, it's not that it's not really something comparable to that particular ability.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the main difference between these two comps and these two teams would be the Force Blader for the side of Consummation, and then you have the Force Shielder going into the side of Lagman. So I think these two are a bit of a significant comp, or rather a significant class to have a disparity on, as we have mentioned at the start of the series, at the start of the tournament. The Force Shielders are huge priorities. These are very important classes to have in any scenario of a team fight, alongside the Force Archer as well for that extra sustain, for the long haul, for that long run into having that 7 minutes to the very end. So I think these are some of the options we're in. Consummation is a bit lacking. The Force Blader can definitely do a bit of that crowd control onto key targets such as the Force Archer, the Dark Mage, which are very, very squishy. So I think they really just have to capitalize and utilize the Force Blader to its full potential.
I mean, again, we've seen lots of Force, not really Force Blader. We've seen lots of Bladers, using their battle mode to right here, the grappler mode, in order for them to easily close the distance, target the squishy or the nimble characters on their opposing teams. So I don't know how are they going to use it, or how are they going to do this in this matchup right here. But again, since we're talking about squishy, let's talk about defense, or how tough the defense is of Team Lagman right here, because they have a Force Shielder that will provide that extra layer of defense, which is the Shadow Shield, and of course the Moral Shout that increases the HP of every single party member of the team members of Lagman. So again, if consummation only can easily bring down Dr. Archer right here, the Force Archer from the side of Lagman, it's gonna be a huge what do you call this, breather for them, because they can easily target the rest of the team members without it being what do you call this, without it being sustained by the heals of the Force Archer. I think they can do the same thing with with consumption only. The only problem is that they don't have that Force Archer for the heal, and there's no Shadow Shield. So just like what Infinity said a while ago, it depends on how consumption only is going to utilize the damage dealers in their party.
Yeah, and for the likes of Consummation, we have mentioned this already in terms of having like glass cannon setup.
Hmm.
What's most important is the combat power. If they're able to overpower the Lagman's side in their composition in terms of numbers, if ever they have like a massive amount of combat power available for their individual characters and their individual players, I think that is one of the conditions if you do not have a Force Shielder to be able to win up against a team that has it.
That's true. That's true. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, there is a difference in the combat power. Sometimes, regardless if there's a Force Shielder or a Force Archer, a team can easily win or pretty much wipe out the opposing team if they have such a huge amount of gap in terms of the combat power. So if that's gonna be the case right here, then consumption only is gonna be a very very in force that will pretty much create a dent in terms of team composition right here, because they don't have any sustains, they don't have any additional layer of defense. But if they will be able to survive this one, it's gonna be an amazing thing to see. But there you go. That's gonna be the buff coming in. Moral Shout has been committed as well. I think they're now trying to enter. No Shadow Shield has been activated yet, but there you go. The Dark Mage from the side of Consummation only suddenly went down. But of course, that Dark Mage will respond. That's gonna be the first kill count, courtesy of Lagman. Archipara, the first gunner, is also down and out, and that's gonna be the second kill for Lagman. So what's gonna happen here? Will they be able to retaliate? Will they be able to turn the tides in their favor? Okid right here is also down. That's gonna be 3 kills on the side of Lagman. Oh my lord. The Force of Blader right here is also taking so much damage. What's gonna happen? We don't know yet. The Force of Blader is being punished by pretty much everyone right here Jay is holding on for dear life but won't be able to do so. But Mapait will also be punished. They were able to kill at least one member of Lagman. So it's gonna be 1:4 in this game right here because Mapait is down and out. Now we have Dr. Archer taking some punishment from the side of Consummation only. So what's gonna happen here? I'm not really sure what's gonna come down. Jack right here is being punished as well, being chased down, but that's gonna be it. He's down. That's gonna be the 5th kill for the side of Lagman. One more kill, I guess. There you go. There you go. You cannot run anymore, my dear friend, and that's gonna be the game, I guess. Okay, still surviving. This Force Blader, Jay, is doing his very best to survive, everyone. What's going on here? It's a 4-man assault against one Force Blader, and they still can't take him out.
Lagman is still complete here, and Mapait place was disconnected unfortunately, but Consummation already down very low in terms of their count. Jay falls down. It's a 6-kill count for Lagman at this stage with only 2 members remaining. Jackal and trying to run away, trying to buy time for Lagman at this point. They're able to really just root him down, petrify him alongside with R7 Louise's skill set. That will definitely be the end of game number 1. But so far, still persevering here. Jackal and just trying to run away, pinned down. That won't be it. Lagman, we will be able to shut down Jackal and hit him to the ground. Slow down quite a bit, and Jackal is still trying to go away with those dash and fades. Narth and Louise being chased down. Pretty much is a 1v4 situation, but cannot go for the chase here.
It's gonna be a really difficult. Oh, that's the force kick, but I think our Dark Mage for the side of Lagman is gonna go down. That's gonna be 2 kill for the side of Consummation only. Jack right here is still surviving, but how long will he be able to survive? How long will he be able to take the punishment? But that's gonna be it. It's gonna be the game right here. So game number 1 or series 1 will go to Team Lagman.
Yeah, and the condition we mentioned a while ago, having no force shielder and having a glass cannon composition was not something that Consummation was able to really have in their lineup, in their composition, because the thing is, like, having a glass cannon, you really have to overpower your opponent in terms of combat power. And at this stage, we saw how it was so difficult for the likes of Consummation to remove the shadow shield. However, I have to take note, Jack Cullen was phenomenal coming in from that game as well, just persevering all throughout the very end, and even being able to take down the Dark Mage.
Okay, if you missed all of that action, let's go to the highlights because it's ready. Here you go. So there you go. I think Jack is really trying his very best to deal so much damage, but he got taken out in the early stage of the game. And of course, our Archipara right here is also down. I think he's the first one who got taken out, followed by Orchid. And yet Jack right here is really persevering, trying his very best to survive. Jay, however, I thought he's a gunner here, but he did respawn. So that's the 3rd kill. Jack, however, there you go. He's really trying his best to survive. But again, he will be taken out in the equation. So it's going to be the last 3 teams standing. It's going to be Jay, Jack, and the Dark Mage. But the Dark Mage, however, got punished. And, it ended up with Lagman taking the win for this first series right here.
Yeah, it was a 1v4 situation. It was very difficult for the likes of Jack Cohen to be able to win up against them all, especially considering that he only has 1 life left. The odd circles were already used across the board for the rest of the crew. So it was just a difficult journey to be 1v4ing, 1v5ing your opponents at that state. And coming down at the very end, he was still able to take 1 kill though, the very first kill, a very first elimination for Consummation in game number 1.
But you being able to at least bring down one member of Team Lagman, despite being assaulted by four players, that says something. It speaks a volume, my friend. So that means, you can easily make a difference in this particular matchup right here. You just really have to know who's going to be your target, who's going to be your priority, who's going to be your top, top. Person or top class in your hit list in order for you to at least provide very equal battleground for your teammate.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just when you mentioned that, it's all about that priority, right? It's all about that priority. Who will be the target? Who will be the lock in? Coming from one of these teams, Consummation to be specifically, has to think about a lot more than just, you know what, this class is good. We have to target that. It's more onto that, just because Lagman has that innate advantage of that combat power. So it is Consummation who has the massive disadvantage, who is on a bit of a deficit. They have to think about a lot of coordination. Once the Force Blader uses those debuffs, Mana Freeze, uh, Execration, bringing them down onto the ground, rooting them onto the ground as well. They have to follow through, especially the Blader coming in from Consummation to be one of the key players for this team as well, to deal damage, just because a Blader has given the class the biggest amount of single target DPS in the game.
That's true. Though, like what you said, it's all about team composition. So still, I think Consummation did a very good job holding on and pretty much trying to persevere in this particular matchup right here, because it's going to be a tough game for them. But then again, they can still recover. They can still actually force a game number three for this matchup right here. So I am really excited to see what are they going to do next in order for them to equalize and pretty much turn the tide or turn the momentum on their side. So I think it's really gonna go down to Jack creating a very big opening for their team right here. I think it's also they also need Jay, the Force Blader, and Jack to work together in order for them to be able to pull this one out.
Yeah, I think it takes a whole lot of coordination from this team to be able to succeed. The likes of Lagman, that has a Force Shielder in their composition, that results into a very difficult time to bring down. And we keep on mentioning about the Shadow Shield. We keep mentioning about the Force Shielder, just because it really is a huge deal to consider in any situation in the esports scene of Cabal specifically, just because it negates a lot of these damage. It negates and absorbs a lot of these damage before any of these teams can even rather deal HP damage across the board. And we saw, right, at the start of the matchup, Shadow Shield was used and half the HP was pretty much green, and they have to remove that first before they're able to pierce really the HP bars of their opponents, which is a difficult journey for them, a huge road to climb.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because once they've pierced that additional layer of armor that comes from the Shadow Shield, it's not that we're giving so much credit to the Force Shielder's ability. That is really the Shadow Shield. But again, it can really make a very huge difference in this. In tournaments like this, moving forward, if you're gonna compare it to Morale Shout, it's not gonna be that on par with that ability. But let's check this one out. So as you can see right here, we have here DM being mana frozen. We have also the DM being mana frozen right here by the Force Blader. But we have so much damage coming in. Dr. Archer is receiving so much damage right here. Jay as well is also receiving damage. So Justine with the Force Shielder is receiving damage. Wow, and there you go. That's the Shadow Shield. That's what we're talking about. It was activated a bit late because Justine right here just ended up, being knocked out, and that's gonna be a kill count coming in from the side of Consummation only. And is this the turn of tides that we're talking about? Jack, however, got taken out in the process. We have here a very chaotic display of skills are coming in from Consummation only and Lagman. Archipara doing his very best to survive, but he is a very, very agile and pretty much moving across the lakeside arena right here. Jay going down. That's gonna be the second kill and the third kill that comes with Archipara. The first gunner is also down. 2 kill count coming in from Consummation. They are not gonna give up that easily right here, ladies and gentlemen. They are doing their very best to be persevering players right here. So it's really hard to tell who's gonna win this one because the difference in terms of score is not really that far apart. It's really amazing. Jack is taking so much punishment right here. Now they're focusing their attention to the Dark Mage of Consummation only. Will they be able to successfully reduce the number of Consummation? Oh, okay! Wow! Consummation! Right there and then, they were able to turn the tides. It's now 4-3 in favor of Consummation only. What's gonna happen here? Is this the momentum shift that we're talking about? We don't know yet, but so much is going on in this arena, everyone. Jay, however, is going after Dr. Archer. Dr. Archer is running for dear life. That's the force kick coming in from Okid. Will he be able to take down this Force Archer right here? We don't know yet, but we have a Dark Mage, a Force Archer, a Shielder, and a Blader for the side of Team Lagman, and that's gonna be an equal battlefield because it's now 4-4. The first gunner right here, Archipara, has been resurrected. He respawned. Okid, however, is gonna be taken out of the playing field right here. What's gonna happen? Oh, okay. So, wow, that was intense. That was intense, man. I was like looking forward to what's gonna happen because that was crazy. Consummation. Team Consummation right here was able to at least shift the momentum on their end. I was really surprised. I thought it's gonna be the end of their team right here because it's like 2-3, and then suddenly the score went from 4-3, and then suddenly we have some technical difficulties. So, guys, just hold on to your horses, hold on to your seats because we're trying to fix the problem.
Yeah, I think there's a big problem that we have to talk about coming to the side of Lagman. And I think I want to talk about specifically the Force Shielder. The huge problem that I noticed from the side of the Force Shielder is that he used a Mortal Bane immediately coming into the start of the matchup. And I think, you know what, sure, they won game number 1, they were overconfident, but I think that doesn't necessarily mean that they can just belittle their opponents. And having a Mortal Bane as a Force Shielder, it's a really good damage source from a Force Shielder. Don't get me wrong, it's a good skill regardless. However, this is a tournament. This is a tournament setting wherein you really have to put your best foot forward, and it's a battle of guts. It's a battle of wits, rather, right? And it was the Force Shielder that used the Mortal Bane, and then, with that said, with the use of the Mortal Bane, the defensive capability of the Force Shielder went down. Went down. And then was closed quite quite fast. The Shadow Shield was disrupted, and then with the Mortal Bane not being cancelled at the right time, he was just shut down as the very first kill coming in from Consummation.
I guess we just heard some news from the back end team. I think that, in the process, I think Lagman lost that series. Is that correct? Can I confirm with the back end team? Did Lagman lost that series?
Yeah, I can't answer you on that one. Let's just wait for the right call coming in from our Cabal team and our devs. But at that stage, it was just an unfortunate timing coming in for the likes of Lagman. It was really unfortunate coming in from Justin to use the Mortal Bane. And not the best time, not the ideal situation.
Okay, so there you go. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay, so I guess the score, everyone is now tied up. Okay, so we have a game number three here in the Pegasus server, and just like what you said, I think I'm not really sure. I am quite positive that it's gonna be the same result coming in from the side of Team Lagman. But I don't know if they lagged a bit. If they lagged a bit, because the Force Shielder definitely used the Mortal Bane instead of focusing on his role, and that is to provide that tank and at the same time to use that Shadow Shield in the perfect moment. Okay, and that is something that he missed in that particular series, and of course that ended up with them losing that series. And of course, there's because of that, there's gonna be a game number three. So it's now a death match. It's now gonna be it's now or never for these two teams right here. Who's gonna win? Who we don't know yet.
Once again, I want to reiterate, like, Mortal Bane is not a bad skill. You
Mhm.
just do not want to use it in and of itself. You want to use it maybe in a situation wherein you're a bit safe, you have that lead, you have the numbers advantage, wherein you could capitalize on the damage output of the Force Shielder to hasten the amount of damage that your team has, and therefore hasten the kill situation towards Consummation. And on top of that, when you want to use the Immortal Bane in conjunction to a 5v5 setup, the art of defense should follow through. I think this is a pair that you want to go for, the AOD and the Mortal Bane in conjunction to be used consecutively, but Justin wasn't able to do that coming down into the game number two. So I think it was just really unfortunate for Lagman. But you know what? I welcome a game three.
Definitely, definitely. It's really exciting. Things are getting heated up in this tournament right here. Just to give you guys an idea, the reason why Infinity said that it must be used in pair of AOD or Art of Defense, because a Mortal Bane takes at least a portion of your HP in order for you to deal damage to your opponent. That's what Mortal Bane is doing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so everyone, if you guys are again in a setup like this, so you must make sure that you are being sustained, maybe by a force archer, or just like what my partner said a while ago, at least the art of defense should come after. But then again, we are going to game number three. So what are you guys waiting for? Make sure that you like and share the stream to your friends, to your family members. You invite them to watch this awesome tournament, because we are getting lots of good contents. We are getting lots of good matches in this tournament right now in the Infinite War of the Celestial Sea, happening right now in the Pegasus server.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the quarterfinals already here in the Pegasus. These are the eight teams of the best eight teams rather of the Pegasus server, left out of, I believe, 16 or 18 teams that registered for the Pegasus server, and now we're down into the last six teams, including this series and the next one later on. And I think with this 1-1 situation, Consummation and Lagman are even on points, so the next matchup will dictate on who will proceed into the semifinals.
Wow. I mean, since I think the Force Shielder Justine from Team Lagman already knows the consequences of using Mortal Vein in a tournament like this. I think he won't be committing or doing the same mistake in the next game, because a crucial mistake can easily be seen by your enemy, and they will utilize it. They will take advantage of every single mistake that you will commit, and they will turn it into their advantage. So that is one thing that you don't want them to see moving forward. So let's see if there's gonna be another good fight that will happen on our third game right here. So it's a really, really exciting battle coming in, and I can see the force the force blader prioritizing who to mana freeze. I definitely saw the dark mage of both the teams getting their mana frozen on the get-go of the game, because they don't want pretty much every single of their team members to get petrified by the ability of that dark mage, and pretty much they don't want the totem to be summoned on the get-go, because I think it also deals a crazy amount of damage.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So we'll see what the next steps are going to be. We are moments away coming down into game number 3 for Series 3. Consummation up against Lagman. And up next, after the series concludes, we still have two more teams left in the quarterfinals. It will be versus all, and it will be Ashura. So overall, after today, we're gonna see who the semifinalists are going to be across the board, not just here or not just in Cygnus server, but also in Pegasus server. And down the road next week, we'll find out who the champions are going to be across the board for both servers.
I'm very excited to see who's gonna sit on the throne, who's gonna take the throne, who's gonna be the best of the best in terms of this game right here. So I am really stoked. I am really pumped up. Once again, thank you so much, guys, for the undying love and support for this game right here. And of course, you are the community is the one making tournaments like this possible. And of course, before we actually go on a very short break, because I think they're still trying to sort out things, we would like to thank our beloved sponsor. We have Fantech and VIU. If you guys are looking for some gaming peripherals like headset, mice, keyboards, gaming chairs, Fantech has them all. So look no further, go to Fantech.
And as for streaming content, VIU is the one for you. And with that said and done, this is game number 2 that just concluded. We're still not done. We have one more game to dictate who will proceed into semifinals. But before then, we're just going to take a short break. And when we come back, it's the last game for the series.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
clean.
I love you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening once again. Welcome back to the Infinite War of Celestial Seas, the Infinite Battle. I know you guys were surprised because we just took a quick break after announcing that there's going to be a game number 3. Unfortunately, we have to do another game number 2 because it turns out there has been some difficulty, technical difficulty, and of course, some rules were violated. Okay, in the second game that pretty much gave the advantage to team uh, Consumition. Okay, because it's gonna be really really unfair if we're following a very strict rules and it's gonna be violated, and we're gonna let everyone get away with it. So once again, we're not gonna disqualify any of the teams right here, but in return, we're gonna be doing another round number 2. So
Yeah.
the score will revert into 0-1 in favor of Team Lagman.
Yeah, and it's pretty much like the basic storyline is rules were overlooked not just by one side, by both sides.
Mhm.
So the points will be reset coming down into round number 2. So 1 point in advantage for Lagman in this series thus far. So yeah, it will be Lagman that has to really just win one more game to win it all.
Mhm. There you go. So again, guys, match point again for Lagman right here. Can Consumition still do the miracle that they did in game number 2? Of course, without violating any of the rules right here. Same goes for Lagman. Let's keep it clean, guys. Come on. Jay, however, is taking so much damage. Jack as well is being punished, but Jack right here has his eyes set on the archer of Team Lagman right there. They're trying to chase down Dr. Archer, and Dr. Archer will fall down. Oh! There you go. That's going to be the first kill count, courtesy of Team Consumition. Jay, however, is going to fall down as well. Oh! Oh! So it's going to be 1-1, everyone. Things are getting all spicy and heated up right here, everyone. The Dark Mage of Consumition only will fall down, and that's gonna be the second kill coming in from the side of Lagman. However, the blader of Lagman is also about to go down, but will be sustained, will survive the assault. It's still 1-2 in favor of Team Lagman right here. Woodchuck, however, the blader is still taking so much punishment. They really do know who to target first. That is the skill being committed, and that's gonna be one player falling down. That's the first gunner on the side of Team Lagman. It's now 3-2. Once again, it's gonna be 3-3. Everyone, 3-3 because Jay from Consumition only just fell down on his knees. The game is all tied up. It's gonna be 4-3 in favor of Lagman, everyone. Anything can happen in this matchup right here. It's gonna be Okid, Jay, and Jack remaining on the field versus the 4 members of Lagman, the Butchok, Justine, Dr. Archer, and Lois. What's gonna happen here? Oh wow! I think Jay got taken out. It's gonna be 2-4. 2-4, everyone. 2-4. What's gonna happen here, everyone? It's gonna be difficult for Team Consumition only to pretty much punish Team Lagman because they still have that Force Archer, they still have that Force Shielder, they still have the Dark Mage, and of course the damage dealer itself, the Blader in the persona of Butchok TV right here. There you go. Again, dealing so much damage. Okid trying to stay in one place. Again, that's the slash. That's the skill. But again, the side of Lagman is taking no damage at all. What's gonna happen here? Jack is now trying to recover, slowly recovering his HP right here, everyone. They are now going at it at the corner of this map right here. That is the lakeside. The Dark Mage Lois is now being punished, but not as not as much as Jack right here, who's also being focused by everyone in Team Lagman. But however, Dark Mage Lois is also happy. continue assaulting this Dark Mage right here, or he will be able to, or sorry, will the team of Lagman be able to take him out first? And that's just what happened in this matchup right here. It's gonna be O-Kid versus the remaining team members of Team Lagman. It's now 5 is to 3 with a kill advantage of Team Lagman. I think that's gonna be the game right here.
Yeah, Lagman.
That's gonna be the
one
game
more
right
hit.
here, everyone. It's a Lagman winning this game right here, everyone.
Yeah, for the series, it will be Lagman, but we'll win it and we'll proceed into the semifinals. There was just a bit of a mishap a while ago with Lagman, but overall they came through, they rise to the occasion, and they just won it through and through. But if we really want to break it down, if we really want to nitpick on what happened there onto that matchup, there was just a little bit of that difficulty onto the Force Shielder once again for Lagman. The usage of the Shadow Shield was a bit too late. And I get the perspective, right? What Lagman is trying to do is that they're saving the Shadow Shield before or when their teammates are in danger already. So they were saving it up. They were just going in and out of those fights. They were battling it hand-to-hand combat. But the thing is, like, just in the crucial time to use the Shadow Shield was when the Archer was almost down, but it was used when the Forest Archer died already. So that was just one of those nitpicks, one of those unfortunate timings coming in for the likes of Lagman, but they were able to still come through and win it all, and they will proceed to the semifinals.
And there you go. And of course, if you missed any of those actions, of course, we have the highlights waiting for you. There you go. I think they really, I think Justine really came through in this particular match right here. He didn't use that particular skill anymore, which is the Mortal Beam. However, I think Consummation only put up a very good fight against Lagman right here. They were able to survive. They were able to sustain themselves, even though it's just a Jack and O-Kid remaining in the battlefield. They were still able to bring down some of the members of Team Lagman. At least reaching a kill count of 3. But again, against the full 4 members of Team Lagman, it's going to be a very impossible task to win that particular scenario. So that's with all that being said and done, congratulations once again to Team Lagman, and of course, kudos to Team Consumption Only.
Yeah, fantastic game overall that Team Lagman was able to provide coming down from that game. So we only have one series remaining here for the quarterfinals of the Pegasus server. It will be versus all up against Ashura up next to determine the 4 teams that will proceed into the semifinals.
And of course, I'm not really sure if we're gonna go on straight to the game, but definitely, again, in terms of what happened a while ago, I just want to remind everyone that the players of this tournament agreed on a certain rule book in terms of the Cabal esports scene. They have a very particular agreement right here, wherein they're not allowed to use this sets of skills, and pretty much some of those were violated a while ago. That pretty much resetted everything to game number 2. But again, everything has been already arranged. We were able to crown our 3rd winner for tonight. And with that being said, thank you so much again for watching. The Infinite War of Celestial Sea will be back for its last game later on. So see you guys after a short break.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
I love you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament, the Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Battle. And of course, it's me again, Andwin, together with my partner, Infinity. And we are down to our last game for tonight. And I am very hyped and very excited because we are now going to be able to crown our 4th winner for tonight in order for us to proceed to the semifinals here in the Pegasus server.
Yeah, it's the last one for the day as well. And then the semi-finalist will be kind of known already here for the Pegasus server, similarly with the Cygnus server as well. So these 2 servers, these semi-finals will occur next week. But for now, jumping down into the series specifically, it's versus all up against Ashura.
So versus all versus Ashura right here. So again, as you can see on the lineup right here, everyone from versus all, or yeah, I think it's versus all. So Force Archer, Force Shielder, Force Gunner, Warrior, and Wizard. So I think the main damage dealer in this particular lineup in versus all is pretty much going to be the Force Gunner and the Warrior. Because of the hybrid team composition, we're in very beefy, very tanky, and a bit tanky, but at the same time, class that can deal damage as well. They might also rely on the Wizard in terms of the glass cannon build, or of course damage as well. Definitely, that there's the additional layer of defense coming in from the Force Shielder, and of course the massive heal coming in from the Force Archer. So as you can see, everyone, for the side of Ashura, they have a Warrior, but they also have that Force Shielder. The only thing that's missing on their team comp is the pretty much the Dark Mage, but it's like a mirror. Okay, setup right here. The only difference is that in versus all, there's a Force Gunner. In Ashura, there's a Force Blader. So now let's introduce the players for versus all. We have Shona, Joyce Ferrer, Shield Style, Acero, Z Acero. There's the Z again, Chloe, Andrea, and of course for the Ashura team,
You have Boss Tintin, you have Daxi, you have KMSR, you have Iomi, and then you also have Peanuts for Ashura's side. So it's game number 1.
Definitely, it's game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, if you guys are supporting any of the teams right here, make sure that your support is being noticed and pretty much being being known by these players right here. But there you go. I think that's the start of our game right here because the buffs are being unleashed right here. There's the battle mode coming in from the Wizard, I guess. And there's the attack, there's the assault. I think Shield Style right here is taking so much damage. I think a certain skill was invoked a while ago. Shona, however, is not yet using that massive healing capability right here. There's a 1 point already, courtesy of versus all. 1-0, but we don't know. We don't see any of the players from versus all falling down. And there's a Shona hitting the dust with that kill right there. It's gonna be 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. However, there are also capitalizing on the opponent's weakness right here. But without this particular matchup, in this particular matchup right here, because it's gonna be 3-1 for Ashura versus all how Acero receiving lots of punishment. And of course, we have here Joyce Ferrer, our our player right here. Joyce Ferrer is now using lots of skills right here. Our first gunner with the battle mode 3 in place. There you go. That is the shadow shield coming in from the shielder of team versus all. That's gonna be the kill.
Yeah.
Wow.
And overall, I think what both sides did, especially for the four shielder, I think it's kind of a bit clever. They used the battle mode 2, and then the thing about battle mode 2 for the four shielders, the skill, the attack skill specifically, is that it's kind of like an AoE suppression. So suppression is like one of the biggest crowd controls in the game that you can have as a utility for the team. The four shielder innately has it with the shield charge, I believe is the name of the skill, with that as well. So just having that BM2 attack skill was able to really give KSMR that edge at the initial part of the game. They were able to take one kill out from that initial clash, which is really, really fantastic for both sides as well. Even for versus all that capitalized on BM2.
Right. And of course, if you missed any of those Cabal action, here's the highlight for you. Again, as you can see, everyone, they're trying their best to pretty much sustain every single members of their party. Right here, I thought definitely Shield Style is about to go down, but then again, someone from Team Ashura just hit the dust, followed by their Force Archer right here, Shauna. But that didn't actually phase them. Even though their Force Archer went down, they still held their ground. They still tried to pay attention to what they're doing in battlefield without really paying attention to the absence of their Force Archer. So that's one thing that you have to consider as well. How are you going to survive? Whereas, if there will be a scenario wherein your Force Archer got taken out. So it's the presence of mind that I admire in these teams right here, because it's an awesome display of concentration and pretty much doing their role or respective roles in this tournament right here.
Yeah, I think it's just really important to know what your position is in each and every single class, what you need to do to be able to really help out your team overall. Like the four shielder with those shadow shields, the suppressions, those crowd controls going to be very important. The healers with the heals, with that damage as well, accordingly, would also be kind of important to consider. And then the rest of the crew that will just deal damage, and so on and so forth. Like the targeting, the coordination, as we keep on saying time and time again, as we keep on reiterating since day one of this tournament, which will be important and significant for each and every single one of these teams, especially if two teams are kind of in a similar range of combat power.
That's true. That's true. But of course, again, we still have our next game. It's a match point. It's the match point. However, for team, for team I got lost right here. So
Versus all and Ashura.
yeah, it's a match point for Team Ashura. So I am really, really excited on what's gonna happen next for these two teams right here, especially if they are giving it their best. I can see definitely the Force Gunner activating his Battle Mode 3 because there, if you see a very red character in the battlefield, it can only mean one thing, that that particular character activated their Battle Mode 3. Because I can see the Force Gunner unleashing a series of attacks towards a certain character from the opposing team. So I'm not sure how does that work with the Force Gunner, because they have their own what do you call this, capability to really outshine one class from another, especially in terms of battle mode. Actually,
Hmm.
that's those battle modes are actually one of the reasons why I fell in love with the game, especially with the Force Blader and the Wizard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely so. I think like the battle mode 3, the advantage of that is just having a big AoE damage perspective, a big AoE uh, area of damage coming down across every class. I believe has that type of area damage with the BM3. So I think that's one of the perspectives as well. If these teams or if these players stack on top of each other, the BM3 definitely gives you a bigger damage just because of that AoE spread out across each and every single one. So I think that's like one of these teams or some of these players are capitalizing on. But in some occasions, as we have mentioned prior into game number one, at the conclusion of game one, is that the likes of the four shielders with the BM2, with that area suppression, will be a huge utility for the team, and something similar across the board as well. If you're considering as well the Force Archer, if you want that single target DPS, BM2 as well is in consideration. Similar to the Blader as well, the BM2 is single target DPS, BM3 is more of AoE.
Hmm. So there you go. So that explains, why some of the players in this tournament right here is always relying so much on BM3. However, there are a handful of players that I've seen so far in this tournament right here who relies mostly on battle mode 2. So again, there's a big difference between the two battle modes. So it depends on how are you going to utilize it. It depends on how are you going to pretty much use them into your advantage. So then again, it's the execution that counts. So if it works for you, especially in your team composition as of now, then might as well use it. Okay, you're pretty
Mhm.
much to use whatever you want, or the battle mode that you want in this particular matchup right here.
Yeah, don't fix what's not broken. I think that's like generally
Mm-hmm.
one of the statements that keeps occurring, not just like here in Cabal, but generally in esports. So if it's really working for you guys, if it's the coordination as well, the strategy as well, the classes, the composition as well, I think overall you do not need to necessarily have a drastic change. You could definitely improve on it, but these are some like these nitpicky type of situations. So I think overall it's down to the second game. Versus all currently is already sitting at match point. They are at a numbers advantage already in terms of game. So winning one more round will mean that they will proceed into the semifinals.
That's true. That's true. So again, we're gonna be crowning four teams of four tonight to proceed to the finals in the Pegasus server here in the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, which will take place next week together with the Cygnus server semifinalists. So I'm really, really, curious. What do you think will happen if the server itself clashed with each other? Like
I don't
server versus server.
I don't think it's going to be possible just because it's like the characters are class exclusive. I think the only situation we're in that's even innately possible is if we have the standard equipment standard class tournament we're in. We will be using combo interactive uh
Accounts.
standard characters. So I think that's one of the situations where in these two servers could definitely overlap. But
Mm.
in terms of using your own characters going into another server, I don't think that's possible.
All right. So as you can see again, we are now going to our game number two. It's gonna be a versus all's advantage. Take note. Sorry, I stand corrected. It's gonna be versus all, who has the match point advantage right here, and Ashura with zero right here. Everyone. So Ashura, what are they gonna do in order for them to at least gain the advantage on this matchup right here? Maybe they can go after the Force Archer, which is Shauna, but that's going to be pretty impossible since I can see Joyce Ferrer pretty much just shooting at everyone who's going after the Force Archer. So before they can even touch the Force Archer, it's going to be a very difficult task, especially if they have the Moral Shout coming in from the Warrior, which is Ziacero, and of course Shield Style that has a Shadow Shield. So what they can do is pretty much use those force kick and dash in and fade out towards the Force Archer. And that's going to be the signal of the match. There you go. Again, the battle mode 3 has been activated right here, everyone. The wizard is now assaulting everyone in the team of Ashura. However, the Acero is also taking some punishment right here. Shield Style is also now in half HP. Will he go down? We don't know yet. Ayomi is also on the verge of getting knocked down, but the Shield Style will go down first. I think he used the Mortal Bane. I'm not sure. KMSR is also a half life right here, but that's gonna be 1:1. But I stand corrected. It's gonna be 4:1. Wow, that kill count just went crazy. Everyone, KMSR holding on to dear life. What's gonna happen next? We don't know yet. But KMSR using that art of defense, being immobile for a couple of seconds in order for him not to receive damage because of that art of defense. But it's gonna wear out soon enough. And there you go, some relentless assault coming in from the side of Versus All. It's gonna be really one versus all, and that's gonna be the game right there, because it's gonna be Versus All who will take the victory for our last match for tonight.
Versus all, matches versus all here in Pegasus server, winning up against their respective opponent in the quarterfinals. So congratulations to Versus all proceeding into the tournament.
And of course, guys, that pretty much concludes everything. So I am really happy, and of course, we were able to crown our four winners for tonight. And of course, those four teams will be proceeding to the semifinals. Again, that will take place next week, so don't miss it. Make sure that you are following our page in order for you to stay updated, in order for you to get notified whenever we go live. Okay, so what are you waiting for? Comment down, exclamation point, notify right here, right now.
Yeah, definitely have a look onto the social medias of Cabal Infinite Combo. But before then, let's look at the highlight of game number 2 of that series. What occurred, what happened, who has the bigger edge, and what occurred coming down for that final match.
Okay, I think in this final match right here, it's just a Shield Style who went down for the side of Versus All. Ashura, however, they tried their very best to try and bring down some of the members of Team Versus All, but they were not able to do so. They are really trying their very best, but the damage from this team right here is overwhelming, to the point wherein from 2 kill count, it went straight to 4 kill count. That is crazy. That means to say the damage is too overwhelming. The AoE damage is just really amazing coming in from the Wizard of Versus All. Shona, however, is being punished in this particular matchup, but still didn't mind the damage. However, the last remaining member of Ashura right here used the Art of Defense in order for him to survive punishment. But again, at the end of the day, it's going to be a 4v1 assault, and it's going to be Versus All who will take the win for tonight. So again, here in the server of Pegasus, we have 4 winners for tonight. We have Console Gamers, Bakery Boys going at it on by next week, because they're the semifinalists on the left side of the bracket. And of course, on the right side of our bracket right here, you can see Lagman going up against Versus All in our semifinals. And of course, again, this will take place next week. So what are you waiting for? Stay notified. Again, comment down, exclamation point, notify.
Yeah, for sure. And I think overall it will be a very surprising, if not chaotic, matchup next week, because the thing is, like, it's semifinals coming into Pegasus server. It's a semifinals for Cygnus servers as well, and that same week, we will determine who the respective champions are going to be for both servers. So really a lot of exciting stuff into the following days to come here for Cabal Infinite Combo.
That is true. That is true. And of course, I just want to say thank you so much once again to everyone who's watching this stream. Can you?
And
okay.
I think yeah.
We still have one more code to give away to our beloved audience. Again, thank you so much for the undying love and support. We have the code right here. There you go. So make sure that you claim your rewards inside the game. Log in. Just type Q3 or Q3A6X5P8. Okay. in this in this particular live stream, because this is the code that will give you rewards inside the game. Again, thank you so
Mhm.
much for undying love, for the undying love and support. That's why we this particular tournament was made possible because of you guys, and of
Yeah, for
course
sure.
our beloved sponsors as well. We have Fantech and VIU.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you very much to Fantech. Fantech is a global brand specializing in gaming peripherals and accessories, gears, and known for its affordability and quality. So if you guys are finding your respective peripherals of your PC, or may it be a kind of a supplementary to your mobile, Fantech is the one for you.
All right, and of course, if you're looking for a very good streaming platform to watch animes, Korean dramas, any type of dramas, as long as it's within the Southeast Asian a movie, animes, okay, you can actually download View, because View is a very good streaming platform that can provide you with the things that you like to watch. And of course, with that being said, we just want to say thank you so much once again to each and every one of you who stay tuned in the Infinite War of Celestial Sea, the Infinite Batter. Again, this is just the Pegasus server. You're gonna watch them again next week. We have the Cygnus server semifinals, and of course the Pegasus server semifinals. So once again, thank you so much for your time. This is Andwin and Infinity saying good night, goodbye, and thank you.
Cabal Infinite Combo Tournament. The Infinite War of Celestials. Each team will consist of 5 players working together to claim the victory. In addition, each team is allowed 2 substitute players, ensuring flexibility when needed. And remember, all players must use their own accounts and items, so bring your best gear and skills to the battlefield. No duplicate classes are allowed within the same team. Before the match starts, a coin toss will determine the home team. In case of a tie, the home team will be declared the winner. Each team is allowed a maximum of 2 revives, but each player can only revive once per match. Eliminating an opponent earns 1 point. The first team to reach 7 points wins the match. Each round has a 7-minute time limit. If the time runs out, the team with the higher kill count wins. If the score is tied, the team that secured the first kill wins.